Hello everyone! Across the Klingon history, a pantheon of formidable vessels have exemplified their martial prowess and technological ingenuity in the Klingon Empire. Throughout the different epochs, several iconic ships have cemented their place as the apex of Klingon military might throughout the centuries, which drove me to the question, what is the strongest Klingon ship throughout the centuries? Of course, we don't have all the information about the Klingon ships that were developed since the beginning of their space travel, but we do have some information of the kind of ships that were developed in the 22nd century to the 24th. In this video, we will be reviewing the multiple ships throughout these 3 centuries to find out which Klingon ship was considered the strongest and why. In the 22nd century, there wasn't a lot of information about the different vessels that were used by the Klingon military forces, but the main one that we do have some information about was the Vo'n'talk, which was a bird of prey craft that was a central part to the Klingon fleet since they achieved spaceflight. The design of the vessel was to adapt to become more powerful, allowing the crew to make updates to the vessel throughout its deployment. The layout of the vessel was different from other races, by having its engineering hull placed at the end of the vessel paired with 2 wings that had disruptor cannons placed at the end. At the bow of the ship was the bridge, which contains all the main control systems for this class of ship. The Vo'n'talk was only 145.36 meters in length and had a warp drive that can go up to warp 6.15. For armaments, the vessel had 8 disruptor cannons and 2 photon torpedo launchers. For defense, the ship had a deflector shield. Due to the time period, the Vo'n'talk did not have a cloaking device, but that soon changed in the 23rd century. In the 23rd century, the bird of prey was updated to the D7 class. The D7 battlecruiser was a hallmark of the 23rd century, symbolized the Empire's dominance with sheer firepower and remarkable speed. This vessel's legacy reverberated through conflict with the Federation, etching its name in Klingon history. During the mid-23rd century, the D7 class served as the Klingon's backbone, and would eventually be used by the Romulans due to how much of a threat the vessel posed against the Federation's security and welfare. At a length of 228 meters, the D7 did not contain the same amount of weapons as past bird of prey. The vessel was armed with 2 disruptor cannons, 1 photon torpedo launcher, a magnetic pulse generator, and phaser emitters. The ship was also defended by a deflector shield and eventually would have a cloaking device. Towards the end of the 23rd century, the Klingon Imperial Navy created a new series of D7 class called the Katinga. This vessel was bigger than the D7 and had triple the amount of disruptors. At the beginning of its deployment, the vessel was used as a command ship, but eventually would replace the D7 class during missions that required more firepower. This vessel expanded the Empire's reach and stood as a symbol of Klingon might during its transition into the 24th century. Emerging as the pinnacle of Klingon engineering, the Vor'cha class attack cruiser optimized power and agility. It commanded the front lines during the Klingon Civil War, showcasing its technological superiority and strategic significance. The Vor'cha class was created to be more of a modern warship that would eventually replace the aging Katinga class. This vessel provided great support in transporting the elements due to the size of the ship. At a length of 481.32 meters, this vessel can carry more than 1,900 crew members and troopers, which is double the amount of passengers than the Vor'cha's predecessor. The idea behind the design of the Vor'cha was to attempt to gain superiority over the newer Federation ships that entered into service, such as the Galaxy class. Once deployed, the Vor'cha became the most powerful vessel within the Klingon Defense Force, with 18 disruptor cannons, 1 large disruptor, and 3 torpedo launchers. The vessel also had a warp drive that can go up to warp 9.6, including 2 other devices such as a cloaking device and a deflector shield. In the late 24th century, the Negh'Var class warship was introduced, serving as the flagship and bolstering the Empire's military presence across the stars. Despite their diverse design, this vessel shared the legacy of strength, honor, and unyielding dedication to the Klingon pursuit of martial excellence. Their existence echoes through time, immortalizing its role as the most robust symbol of Klingon naval power across the centuries. The Negh'Var was slightly smaller than its Sovereign class ship, and it was capable of carrying 2,700 personnel. The vessel was armed with 1 large 4 disruptor, 20 disruptor cannons, 4 torpedo launchers, and was also equipped with a deflector shield and a cloaking device. The vessel's warp drive had the same capability as the Vor'cha, which was warp 9.6. Eventually, the Negh'Var replaced the Vor'cha as the flagship within the Klingon fleet. Overall, the newer Klingon ships in recent years have been a response to their neighbors' growth. Majority of Klingon strength comes from their weapons and the design of their ships. All their ships have a bird of prey layout, which means that their command hull is placed in the front and their engines and wings are placed in the back to provide better maneuverability. This design works perfectly with their strategy, which is attacking head-on. Let me know in the comment section below on which ship within the Klingon fleet would be considered the strongest during this time. For me, it's the D7 class. This vessel forced the Federation to create a newer class of ship that had more firepower, and encouraged the Romulans to trade with the Klingons to get their hands on this vessel. If you enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe, and also don't forget to click on the notification button to keep yourself updated with my channel. For more sci-fi content, then please check out these other 2 videos and my socials. Thank you for watching Utopian Broadcast, and I'll see you next time on my channel. Thank you.